Hello. They say a tired dog is a happy dog, and that is something that I'm thinking about a lot right now. I am exhausted, absolutely exhausted, but I wanted to document this feeling I'm having and what's going on in my life right now. I don't know if this is going to be helpful to anybody else, um, but I want to talk about it, and this is my channel. So sit back and relax. No. Um, I today had a massive day, and I would say it's kind of arguably life changing. Not in the sense that any one thing happened that was life changing, but in the sense that, like, tomorrow will be very different than yesterday because of what happened today. And I don't, I'll just briefly go into it. I mean, I woke up at 6:30 a.m., watched the sun rise over Lake Michigan, absolutely gorgeous. Went to a workout class at this new, new to me workout studio, and that was terrifying. I was shaking on the way over, and um, but I knew it would be really good for me, and it's something I wanted to tap into, a community that was also centered around fitness and being active, and um, making sure I'm looking after my physical health with everything else going on. And it was very fulfilling to be able to do that. And the workout was hard. The whole time I was like, do this, if I do this type of workout often, I'm going to be fit. Like, there's no other option. Like, I'm gonna be fit. Like, right now it was a lower body day, and right now my quads and glutes are just already sore before even going to sleep. Um, but I've kind of been struggling to find a good workout routine, and was nervous about doing that. So that's one thing. Then later I go to a coffee shop. Something I've been working on is talking to people and initiating conversations, and doing so in kind of an authentic way where I'm actually genuinely curious about something that they're doing, or something that they're working on, or something in our shared environment. And and I ended up talking to someone that was just sitting next to me at the coffee shop, and we ended up having just a really good conversation. It was connecting. It was kind of goofy. It was silly. We were laughing. I was doing bits. Um, she talked about how she didn't like some song that had been playing in the coffee shop a previous time, and I on my phone saw the opportunity to join the Spotify Jam, and basically take control of the aux, and so I played the song that she said she hated, and the look on her face was just priceless. So that's, I'm having a good time. It was fun. Um, and yeah, we had a really good conversation with that, and exchanged information, which is something that I typically don't do and have felt kind of weird about. But um, by kind of releasing the pressure around that, it just worked so much better. And that was great. And that alone is something, both of those things, the workout and the coffee shop connections, those are things that I was dying to create for probably the last year or 2 years. It's I just so badly wanted those to be elements of my world, of my life, of my day-to-day existence. I just knew it would be so fulfilling, and I was trying to create it out of nothing, and no one around me was really all that interested in it. When I was living in Colorado, and now, less than 2 weeks living in Chicago, like I have that now. Today and tomorrow I'm gonna have that, and yesterday I didn't. That's what's life changing. Those are two things. I had a therapy appointment which is my opportunity to just really, really dive deep on like the personal internal stuff that I'm trying to figure out. It's not really related to anything I'm trying to like do in real life, but it really feeds my soul. And we had a really, really, really good conversation. I think it's almost like too in the weeds to talk about here, but it had to do with shame and my relationship with shame and my relationship with judgment. And judgment was a big thing for me to kind of understand how I was relating to it about a year ago, and it really changed my life when I addressed that and like kind of looked it in the eye. And I realized that something similar is happening with shame that was happening with judgment. And so we had a really good conversation about this. I've been seeing this therapist on and off for over 2 years, and it's just been excellent. So would highly recommend doing that. But that's a deep, heavy conversation as well. I actually had the opportunity to, or I applied and was accepted for a small group coaching experience with someone that I really respect and have learned a lot from online and in kind of a larger group coaching setting. And I haven't gotten a ton of information about what this small group coaching would be about, and it's it's definitely like not cheap, but I have recently been like kind of I had set an intention for investing more in myself this year, and this is kind of the perfect way to do that. And I haven't decided whether I'm going to do it yet or not, but that's something that happened today as well, as I was accepted to this opportunity. And it's something that is a little bit scary, especially with the finances, to like commit to it. But also it's like, man, every time I've bet on myself, it's either worked as a success or I've learned something out of it. And money comes back, and it's not an amount of money that I'm banking on to, it's not life-changing money. So but that's really exciting as well. And I think that signing up for that would help me continue to align what's happening inside with like what I'm trying to create externally. So that's very exciting as well. And then the last thing that happened is that I went to a social event, and it was all about people presenting for 5 minutes each, presenting something that they were interested in, kind of a niche interest. And I learned about it like a week ago, and I bought a ticket yesterday, and I decided that I was gonna be one of the people who presented. And there were 7 people who presented, and it was kind of like introvert type people. They call themselves nerds, but people who are curious and driven, and my kind of people who, again, I was just like dying to meet more of these kinds of people. And tonight I was sitting in a room, standing on stage, clicking through a little PowerPoint presentation, and like 50 or 60 of these people were watching and engaged, and there was energy. People told me later that that like the energy was kind of dead in the room before I started, and that it, that I contributed to kind of adding to the energy. My presentation was on why sunsets are cool, and people thought it was funny. I don't know. It was. I think what was cool about that was that I wasn't trying to be funny. I wasn't trying to be interesting. I wasn't trying to be anything except just expressing something about myself. And it's not really even a core thing about who I am, but it is something that I truly appreciate, is watching a sunset, and I was able to share that with people. And I think I shared it authentically, and all of the work I've done up until this point allowed me to kind of take the mask off and like not feel that fear I felt comfortable on the microphone, and I've had previous experiences putting myself on a stand-up comedy stage or on an improv comedy stage, or making TikToks or making YouTube videos, right? Like all of that stuff is helping me become the version of myself that I want to be. And I just gave 5 things that happened today that are all just like insane momentum in the direction that I want to go. I also got I exchanged information with 2 other people. I told you I'm exhausted. 2 other people at this event. It was called Show and Tell for Grown-Ups. Really great event. I was really inspired also by the woman, Mary, who put it on, and she quit her corporate job. I assume it was a corporate job. She quit her full-time job to create this thing, to create this community. And it's coming up on her 1-year anniversary of this existing, and like to just see, like I said, 50, 60, maybe 70 people at the peak in this room, being themselves, feeling like it's cool to be, curious and interested and enthusiastic and to love learning. Those are all things that I am and that I value. And I just believe everyone deserves to belong somewhere. And I love when other people feel like they have places that they belong, but I haven't really had a place where I feel like I belong. And that's something I'm trying to create. And it was like just really cool to see today that at this social event and throughout the day that I am in the process of building a life and a community where I feel like I belong. And that's what it's all about. And I think that I'm just like categorically, I like using that word, but I don't know if it's the best word here. I am maybe quantitatively closer today to that goal than I was when I went to sleep last night and slept like shit because I was anxious about waking up at 6:30 for this workout class. So I just want to take a moment of appreciation to just look around and kind of ground in this moment and celebrate, because I'm reaping some of the rewards of all the seeds that I've sown. And it's just beautiful, and so much more is on the way. And if nothing else happened, it would still be really, really cool that I've had this experience so far. I'm gonna go to sleep now and start my long nighttime routine on my clean sheets. Oh, I also cleaned my sheets today. That'll be nice. Anyway, good night.